The Multiverse Mystery, a short story of universes colliding, mysteries unraveling, and friendships blossoming across space and time. Featuring characters from Scooby-Doo, Transformers, and from other wonderful media. Written and narrated by ℍ𝕒𝕢𝕐𝕒𝕢. Some of the best things in life happen unexpectedly, including when different media franchises collide suddenly. Freddy Jones and Scooby-Doo were chasing another goon. Megatron was fighting Autobots, thinking he won too soon. And Eeyore, well, he was in a bit of a gloom. All it took was an internet crash to merge and change their pre-existing worlds.
Fred, where are we?
I don't know, Scooby, but I've got a hunch something's not right. Some challenges are more than meets the eye. Perhaps blessings in disguise. It's time to search for clues in the Multiverse Mystery.
Oh no. I hope these aren't voices in my head.
Who's that? Let me get my flashlight. Donkey, look!
Yup, just a donkey. Not much of one either, if you ask me. My name's Eeyore.
Hi, Eeyore. I'm Fred, and this is Scooby-Doo. We were just chasing some monsters when we fell into a ditch that led us here. What about you?
I was learning how to bounce with springs and crashed down a deep, rocky cliff.
Ouch! Are you okay?
It was at that moment when loud rumbling could be heard within the darkness.
Monster!
I don't think that's a monster, Scooby.
Look, it's just a truck and a van.
Indeed it was. The two vehicles rolled up to them, casting a bright light in their direction from their headlights.
They're not much of a truck and van, but I'm sort of attached to them.
Why, what do you mean, Eeyore?
Eeyore had a small smile when the vehicles began transforming, leaving Fred and Scooby in awe. The one and only Optimus Prime soon bent down and patted Eeyore's head.
Eeyore, it's good to see you, old friend.
Whoa! Who are you guys? I'm Fred, and this is my friend Scooby-Doo.
Optimus greeted them with a nod, while Ironhide waved.
My name is Optimus Prime, and this is my weapons specialist, Ironhide. We are both Autobots from the distant planet Cybertron.
And we were just fighting a Decepticreep by the name of Megatron, when we suddenly fell into a dark void within the canyons.
So all of us have gotten here through some dark entrance? How odd. And where is this Megatron now? A sinister laugh echoed across the area as the Silver Warlord appeared from the darkness.
Optimus, why does it always go down to this? Throwing your life away so recklessly?
That's a question you should ask yourself, Megatron.
With sheer surprise, Fred pointed a finger at Megatron.
So you're the Decepticreep?
Megatron only raised an optic ridge at Ironhide, who just shrugged, before correcting the human.
I'm a Decepticon, and I assume all of you have mysteriously appeared here too.
It seems so, and it stands to reason that if we wish to find a way out, we must work together.
Together? With Megacreep?
Scooby began to whimper before pretending to choke. He then fell flat on his back. Eeyore went up to Scooby and softly poked at him.
What is he doing?
Fred didn't know whether to facepalm or shake his head. He went with the latter. He's playing dead.
Playing dead? Leaking lubricant. We don't have time for this.
We must quickly bring him back to life, then. Time is of the essence.
Megatron scoffed at Scooby's silly antics before kneeling down and softly grumbling.
Will you work with me for one Scooby snack?
Scooby peeked one eye open before closing it again. Megatron rolled his optics.
Will you do it for 2 Scooby snacks?
All of a sudden, Scooby miraculously came back to life, with his tail happily wagging and all.
2? Yeah, uh-huh.
How on earth did you know I asked him that? After giving Scooby a few pats and belly rubs, Megatron proudly smirked.
I think we share the same voice of reason.
That's nice and all, but could we please start working? Not that anyone is looking for me back home.
I'm sure that's not true, Eeyore, but good call. Let's search for clues. Eeyore started wandering around the darkness, while Scooby began sniffing his surroundings. The rest tried to see if they could contact someone for a space bridge, but it was to no avail. After bumping into a wall, Eeyore looked up and spotted something. I found some writing. If only I knew how to read it. Fred made his way over to where Eeyore was standing and pointed his flashlight at the wall. I don't blame you for not understanding, because these are hieroglyphs.
Hieroglyphs?
Yes, and judging from what's written, we must be within the Great Sphinx of Giza. Nice clue, Eeyore.
Wish I could be more helpful.
How is it that we're all able to fit inside this structure?
A defect within our transformation circuitry may have caused this. Or perhaps we're in an alternate timeline where our company has been expected.
The last time we were in Egypt, we were battling for the Omega Keys. The first key was hidden in one of these very chambers.
Speaking of chambers, if the rumors are true, there should be a hall of records underneath us. It supposedly contains information about the Atlanteans and the early Egyptians.
Hall of Records. There was a place with that exact name on Cybertron.
There was?
And Optimus had worked there himself as one of its top librarians. Perhaps we'll find an answer here for what caused all of this.
It's imperative we find this place soon, and it seems there's a forked path ahead.
It seems the mysteries had multiplied, or divided into two for this case. The path on the left was tall and wide, while the path on the right was much smaller, comfortable enough for human explorers. Well, new gang, I say it's time we split up.
Ironhide and I shall take the wider path. Megatron, do your comlinks work here?
Yes. I'll be in my alt form then, and stay with the rest.
After Megatron transformed into his alt weapon mode, small enough for Fred to carry, the two groups separated. Sometime later, Fred stopped to observe a beautiful painting on one of the walls. It appeared to be an Egyptian deity with a cat head, holding two instruments. Would you look at that? This is the ancient cat goddess Bastet. She's one of the reasons why cats were admired by the Egyptians.
What is she holding?
She has a sistrum and an ankh. The first is a musical instrument, while the second is known as the Key of Life.
Interesting. The Omega Keys had the power to bring Cybertron back to life.
An ankh doesn't actually bring things to life, but rather symbolizes eternal life instead. There could be a connection, though. Scooby then whimpered, while another type of rumbling could be heard. It was his poor stomach.
What's wrong now, Scooby?
Hungry! Food! If I were to become human, I would open a pizza place of my own. I have yet to find a proper name for it, though.
Scooby's ears perked up when he heard this, and his tail began wagging quite quickly.
Megatron's pizzas? Yum! Sausage and mushrooms? Precisely.
Would you add pineapples? Not that I like that, mind you, but I'm just curious.
I do like ideas promising chaos.
Meanwhile, Optimus and Ironhide cautiously held their weapons while navigating more unexplored pathways. With a stern yet solemn look, Optimus carried on. But Ironhide detected something else that brought tension in the air and slowed down till Optimus noticed.
What's working with your mind processor, Prime? I know that look.
What look?
The I'm worried about something personal but don't want to trouble others look. You can't fool an old friend.
Optimus nodded and slightly lowered his weapon. After Ironhide caught up with him, he started walking again while explaining what was worrying him.
I'm concerned about Eeyore. I feel for him, Ironhide. Though others care for us, there are times we struggle to believe it ourselves.
Ironhide took a moment to reflect on this. It had been a while since Optimus was this true towards his feelings and vulnerable in front of someone else. It took him a bit off guard at first.
I see what you mean. Well, just know that regardless of how you two feel, we'll always be there for you both. Self-acceptance is a process after all. And when have I ever left you alone during a battle or a journey?
Optimus smiled, since he didn't have to think twice before answering. You never have.
And I plan on keeping it that way. Say, what's that one thing good old Larry always said?
Deep down, Optimus knew Ironhide remembered the words of wisdom their very first human friend advised them both. But he still repeated the same phrase he originally heard many years ago, and one he'll remember for many more. Be strong enough to be gentle.
And that doesn't just apply to when you're leading us, Optimus. We also want you to do the same for yourself. I know the Matrix has set you up with a lot of expectations, but try not to be too hard on yourself.
For once, Optimus didn't know what to say. The Matrix was quiet, but his spark glowed with a very warm feeling. Gratitude. Thank you, old friend. Ironhide patted Optimus's shoulder in reply. Optimus touched his own audio receptor when he received a sudden message from Megatron.
Megatron to Prime. We're reaching a torchlit entrance. Do either of you see anything?
The Autobot duo began to notice the dim flickers of torches, and the group soon reunited at what seemed to be the mysterious Hall of Records.